I'm going to call the meeting to order, 5 o'clock, Tuesday, June 11th. This meeting obviously is being recorded. Roll call, Commissioner Tebow.
Here.
Commissioner Christian Sheedy.
Here.
Commissioner Widup.
Here.
Commissioner Sharp.
Here.
And Dennis Sheedy is present. Agenda item number 1, minutes of the May 14th, 2019 meeting.
I make a motion to accept the minutes of the May 14th meeting. I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Tebow, a second by Commissioner Sharp. Any discussion?
Just, I noticed Caldwell was spelled Coldwell, but, you know, Coldwell Banker, right top front.
Oh, okay. Yep.
It's throughout.
Okay. I'll correct those.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes with one amendment?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That's unanimous. Agenda item number 2, minutes of the executive session meeting, February 19th, 2019. This motion should include either to approve and hold or approve and release. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't release them.
I'll make a motion to approve and release the minutes of the executive session from February 19th, 2019.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Tebow, a second by Commissioner Christian Sheedy. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Agenda item number 3, May 2019 warrant in the amount of $164,415.38.
I'll make a motion that the warrant for May 2009 be approved in the amount of $164,415.38.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Tebow, a second by Commissioner Christian Sheedy. Any discussion? I see that the software seems to be a little glitches. I didn't find any of them in there this
No.
time.
Yep.
I would just like to make a point that the $11,692 bill to Andrew Brockway, the engineer for 26 Quonicut Avenue, was paid on May 14th. Just want to point that out.
Any other discussion regarding the May 2019 warrant? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That's unanimous. Okay, Kathy, make sure you get it back.
I will try to get that back. No, that was last month's.
Agenda item number 4, change order for fish number 088047 in the amount of $22,924.
I will make a motion that we approve change order number 2 in the amount of $22,924 for fish number 088047.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Christian Sheedy, a second by Commissioner Tebow. Any discussion?
Kathy, could you remind me the CO change order number 2? We had 3 choices, didn't we? And one was like 20,000.
They're all attached to the back of this, yes.
Okay.
DHCD, I requested separate change orders, and DHCD told the contractor they could put all 3 change orders on one because the rate was 10%.
Mhm.
So all 3 are attached to the back of the change order.
So the $14,000 one, what I was looking to compare it to was, and I think we had given them some direction last time at the meeting, didn't we?
Yes. So the higher one should replace the gutters because we couldn't get over the roof, so that was interesting to me as well. Maybe they found somebody.
Okay.
That's all I can think of, and we'll save the money that way. I mean, the gutters are still fairly new, so.
Excellent.
Any other discussion? All in favor of agenda item number 4?
Aye.
All opposed? That's unanimous. Agenda item number 5, RFP for Concord Ave and realtor listing.
So is there anything we need to do with this?
No, I put it in there
It's
just
just
so the
information.
board's aware of what's going on, that everything was listed, it was put in central register, it will be in the newspaper twice. The last one will be 2 weeks prior to this opening, and it's also, we have copies in the office. The Realtor has copies. They had an open house on Sunday, they had 4 people come to the open house, so that's really all I know as far as that goes, but I wanted you to be aware of that everything was done.
Excellent, good job.
Yeah.
I notice on the listing, maybe this is program issues with the listing, you know, MLS or something, but it says style ranch, and then it contradicts itself by saying front to back split.
Mhm.
It can't be both, it's gotta be one or the other.
Mhm.
And then the other is, it says bathrooms, 1 full, 1 half. That's
There's a
not,
half downstairs.
there is a half?
Yes. Downstairs.
I didn't know that. I thought we were gonna put one in.
No,
Thinking
there's
of-
plumbing and a toilet, I believe.
I
No
see.
walls, but that.
So it's a third.
into the-
It's not a half bath.
Right, but on the ad, they actually, you know, it's pretty much advertised to contractors and flippers, so they're aware.
Because the plumbing is in.
Yeah.
Thank
Were you able to get this over to Wayne this morning?
Yes,
Thank
first
you.
thing, yep, no problem. I should have done that originally.
Well, I want to know if you picked out the color of the house originally.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's red, white, and blue,
A
folks.
I don't know.
It's red, white, and blue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember it being that blue.
No, I think it's something with the printer. It can't be that blue.
It really is that blue.
Is it?
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
yes, it's that blue.
So pretty.
But you did do a good job photographing. I mean, it really,
Yes.
yeah, okay, that is a little brighter in the picture. Slightly.
It's a smart house.
Fluorescent. But yeah, it's a beautiful piece of property. Hopefully
Yeah.
someone can do something with it and we
I
can
hope so. I hope
use the
so.
proceeds to do something.
Absolutely.
Any other discussion or concerns regarding the RFP for Concord? Hearing none, we'll move on to agenda item number 6. Vacant unit fees assessed from January 31st, 2019 to March 31st, 2019. I don't understand this at all.
I think it's a big fat DHC.
I just wanted the board to be aware, I haven't had an answer, I know how busy Kim is.
Any response?
Yeah.
But it says
I
it
just
doesn't expire until 2020. But evidently it
There
expired.
was a little lapse there, but the fact of the matter is that the house is uninhabitable, they know it, they shouldn't be hitting us with fees. It's $407, but
Yes.
what did they dock that from the subsidy?
They can, they have.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're a, well, we are a subsidy housing program.
Yeah.
But I don't understand it.
I don't either, so, I just wanted the board to be aware.
Don't pay them a cent.
Oh, I don't pay them.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
Thought
gonna
they
ask,
dock it from the
But
subsidy.
if they dock it from the subsidy, let us know, because then we're
Oh,
going to
absolutely.
fighting.
Yes,
that's what I was gonna ask, is what is the amount of the
Mhm.
fees?
$407.
Write it.
But it's also for a period in time when it wasn't, that it was actually on their legislature correctly, so I'll update you when I hear back from her. I'm sure she's actually coming out to do our PMR in July, so I'll bring this to her attention.
How much was it, 407?
407.
And that's not on that form anywhere, is it? Because I couldn't.
I couldn't find it either.
No, it's not on the form.
Any other discussion or concerns regarding agenda item number 6? Hearing none, we'll move on. Agenda item number 7, CPA funding request. Approve the town meeting for roofs at Elise Circle. So that's, you can't proceed until after July 1st? Is that
Correct,
what
yeah.
the fiscal year?
And he'll be in touch.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'd just like to thank the town for their commitment to affordable housing in the town, and they've been generous in the past, and without this, I mean, we'd be way behind
Yes,
on our
absolutely.
capital preservation, so
Agreed.
thank you very much.
There are, they do provide like little plackets or signs that when you do start this project partially funded by Community Preservation Committee.
Oh, it's the first I've heard of that.
If you could reach out to Wayne when it starts and see if we can't have those signs posted on the property so that
People know.
we show our appreciation. And I know there's also, they're trying to do a PR thing with people that are, I think I've talked to you about, they wanted to do Channel Way. If you could reach out to them about that. The money they gave us for that property. They've certainly been generous over the years, that's
Yeah.
for sure. They've helped this authority
Could we,
immensely.
could we order a plaque to be affixed to that fence at
Well-
Chandler Way? This fence donated by Town of Easton?
It was actually the siding
No, they
and the
didn't do the
roofs.
fence.
They did
Yeah,
the
that was
siding and
prior
the
to
roofs.
me. It
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
the fence. We paid for the fence.
Oh, okay.
If I remember right, it was the siding and the roof they did in Chandler Way. That was the
Oh.
first project we approved.
I'll reach out to Wayne about that. Because we can place them in the community rooms here. There's not a community room down there, but
All right, wonderful. Any other discussion regarding agenda item number 7?
Well, thank you very much. I think Commissioner Sheedy, you sit on this board also,
Yes, I do.
so thank you for all the work you do. I know it's a commitment, you're meeting 10 times a year.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, roughly,
Yeah.
roughly.
Thank you for representing the people here and the interest.
Thank you. All right, agenda item number 8. If we're good with that, we'll move on. Discuss summer holiday hours, specifically Friday, July 5th. I had asked Kathy to put this on the agenda. The 4th of July is one of those holidays where you get the 4th of July. And for Friday being the 5th, didn't think it would be a bad idea if the board considered giving the staff Friday off. So that's up for discussion. If you, it's our way, we don't get to, we can't give them bonuses and we can't give them raises. Those are all determined by others for us. And it's just one of our ways to say thank you.
I would be in favor of July 5th. Nice long weekend.
I would need a motion for that if you,
I will make a motion that we allow the staff to have Friday, July 5th off.
I'll second it.
motion by Commissioner Christian Sheedy, a second by Commissioner Sharp. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
thank you very much. The
That's-
staff will be thrilled. I appreciate that.
All right, agenda number 9. Discuss summer board meeting schedule. Generally, July and August are taken off with Pequonnet that may throw a monkey wrench into us. I would be in favor, if the board is in agreement, that we take those months off with the assumption that if a meeting is necessary, it will be called.
We can do it in a special meeting.
I'm for that. I think it's been our practice since I've been on the board for 8 or 9 years.
It has been, to my knowledge, we've taken those 2 months and need be,
We come in for
we
a special
come in.
meeting. Do you need a motion for that, or is that?
I suppose we should vote on it.
I'll make a motion that we recess our regular meetings for July and August and reconvene in September unless there are special meetings needed.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Tebow, a second by Commissioner Christian Sheedy. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, that's unanimous. Agenda item number 10, the Executive Director's Report.
Average rent is nice.
Yeah.
Kathy, where we do have coming up in agenda item number 12, a question regarding the community room lots. Could you touch on that for us?
Certainly, over the past year or so, we've received complaints, different times, about people in community rooms off hours it shouldn't be. Occasionally, maintenance will come in and find a dirty baby diaper in the trash, which is unusual, things of that nature. Typically, I know most housing authorities, community rooms are locked. And at one point in time, I think it was that they were going to lock these because we have keys for this community room already to give to all residents. It would just be a matter of getting keys for the circle. The locks are already in place, just keying keys to that lock and handing them out to residents, so every resident would have a key to get in and out, but it wouldn't be open to the general public when the office wasn't open.
I am not keen on seeing the community center being closed at 3:30 p.m. I think that some people, may want to come and do their laundry later in the day, especially in the summer months.
Well, they'd have keys. Residents would have keys to get in and out of the community room.
What's going to stop these residents from having their homemakers have these keys? Then homemakers get the free run like they've been doing.
Well, if a homemaker has a key, if they're doing the resident's laundry, the resident should give them the key to come in to do their laundry.
Or they can use the keys to come in and do their own laundry, which has been happening.
Is there any way that we can
prove?
Is there any way that we can find out who's abusing the privileges of the
Very
community
difficult.
room?
It's very difficult to monitor that.
What's the current procedure? What happens now? Is it open
It's open all the
24/7?
time, yes.
No, I don't think they want that.
Yes, we do want, I'm sorry.
I think we need to put
Not
this
right
on
now,
as an
Steve, but-
agenda item for discussion, for full discussion, because it was only really in the director's report. It was not listed as an agenda item, so full discussion really should be with an agenda item.
Okay, I can put it on for September.
That's true. Kind of just forgot about that.
And in the meantime,
It will remain as is.
are we having any,
What would be the drawback, ma'am?
Well, I think that there's a sense in which you want your community center, your community room to be welcoming, not exclusionary. That's one thing. There are a lot of us who use, 3:30 in the afternoon seems an absurdly early time to close it, for one thing. There are a lot of us who come in here and do things in the evening, from piano playing to, as you mentioned, laundry. I think as soon as you just close it down, it becomes less and less welcoming. So I understand that having a key, we can get in if we want to, but it doesn't have that sort of open sense of this is our place, so we can, freely move through this space. I understand if there's a problem, although the problems that were cited don't seem like terrifically terrible to me. If somebody came in and had for some reason was visiting and came over here and there's a dirty diaper and it's thrown in a trash barrel, I don't actually see that as a big problem myself. I know there have been problems in the past about certain things being stolen out of the kitchen and, the kitchen got locked. Which has diminished our sense of this being a community place where we could come in and make a cup of tea if a bunch of us got together and decided to play cards. When I first came, we could have parties here. We had family. We could come in here and we could have a birthday party if we wanted to. We just had to let the office know and schedule it. Someone abused that, and all of a sudden none of us could have it. Instead of finding a solution that would have been, put down a down payment and get it back, which is what I think most places would do. So I feel like, for me, what I see is that there's a problem and then we take care of it by doing some big thing rather than do something small to take care of whatever that problem might be in a less drastic way. I want to see, I live here, I'm somebody who might be here at 11 o'clock doing laundry or playing the piano. Just because I'm over 60 doesn't mean I go to bed at 8 o'clock, and I think that's the case for many of us. And so I'm all, and I also have to say, because I'm here so late at night, I have never seen a single problem the whole time I've been here for, like 7.5 years. Not that I'm here all the time, but I'm here a lot. So I haven't certainly seen anything egregious, mostly it's like other people who are doing laundry, sometimes other people who are playing piano. We get together and we have people singing with us. These are activities that happen outside of scheduled activities, and I think it's part of what makes a place a home rather than an institution. And so I would prefer to have it open. If you feel like it needs to close at a certain time, maybe there could be a few of us in the community who would be, I know they did this for a while, Kathy, that might be what you were thinking of. Sandy at one time was responsible for locking it at 11 o'clock or midnight or whatever.
My husband used to do it too.
Yes, I think that would be a better alternative so that it could be open longer into the evening hours. And then if, people are coming in at 1 or 2 in the morning and doing something, obviously we don't want that, but I think that would be a less drastic solution.
I have no problem waiting until September to put it on the agenda and then letting the residents know, and I think you're coming up with some solutions. I mean, anything we can do to make it a place that is part of your home. So, and obviously protect the asset and protect the people over here. And if, you're here at 11 o'clock by yourself, but I mean, it doesn't sound like there's that drastic a problem that we have to.
No, this was actually generated from other residents, so,
Yeah. Well,
I mean, this wasn't something that the office came up with, this was a concern of other residents.
I'd be
Just so-
interested in who they are, Kathy.
Well, I'm not at liberty to say that,
I
unfortunately, but
I hear what you're saying, but all I'm saying is, of the people that I know who are actually using the place after that time, I'm kind of curious as to whether these are people who are actually here using it in the evening, or if they're just people who came up with
I
something,
don't know
with
the answer
something
to
bothering them.
that. But what I can tell you is, I'll be perfectly honest with you, it would be easy for us to just leave it as is, quite honestly. Again, this didn't come necessarily from the office, this came from, over the past year, we've had several different complaints, not just this community, but at Lee Circle as well. So that's where that was generated from, and at one point in time, apparently, they were going to lock this community room because we have a whole box of keys for the community room that match these locks. So, again, I have no problem.
Yeah, but if we do that, then the people who are concerned about it being locked up would have notice. They could come and speak on their behalf also. I mean, and we could make a...
And maybe we can just monitor it in the next few months and kind of see what kind of infractions, if we could get a listing of the type of things that are of concern or occur. And I also think that originally community rooms, the state designed them to be extensions of your living room, technically.
Yes.
Because the apartments are so small, you're supposed to be able to use this as a community space.
I agree, and I think that we need to revisit, maybe at the same time, the whole idea of being able to invite a family in for a party. The
Correct,
fact that-
and generally, most places do that. You have to
Exactly.
submit an application of a time and of what you're having, and
And a deposit so that if you don't clean
you
up.
can't collect a deposit on it. It's only if there's damages found after the
I
fact
see.
we can bill for the damage.
I see.
But there is not supposed to be any collection of any fees.
Okay.
It's supposed to be an open community space.
But it would be.
It does have
because we-
guidelines
Right.
as to what can occur here.
Mhm.
No alcohol, no smoking,
Right.
and you've got to clean up and take out trash and all those kinds of things. But
Right.
you have a whole checklist of the things that are required to be done. You have a person who signs that says, I'd like to use the room on Saturday, June 14th from noon to 4. And once again, it's not a private function. The building is still available for anyone to come into. You have the space, but it is not reserved. You cannot exclude anyone from the space. Trust me, I've looked into this big
Well, it
time.
would be nice if we were able to do that again, because we haven't been able to for the past several years.
And I have the forms too that
So that'd be great.
to do it.
So if we can, think about that maybe at the same meeting, that would be good to know.
So yeah, I think September agenda item would be nice and kind of see how things go.
Well, I just have a question. I'm putting this out to the residents in general, as if you are in the community room after 3:30 when the office is closed, or 4 o'clock, and the office and the maintenance people have gone home, and you do see something that is an infraction of, such as the example of the list that Commissioner Chris Anchidi mentioned about, no smoking, no, people, obviously we don't have them posted on the walls. People know, they understand what the rules are. If you see, so my question is to the residents, if you see an infraction, what happens? Do you report it? Do you report it anonymously? And I'm just asking you this to think about, so that, because can you self-police?
But I guess my question back to you is, it's so rare that anything terrible happens. I mean, or any infraction like that happens, that, again, it seems sort of like an overreaction to something that's not really a problem. That's my feeling. As I said, as someone who's in and out of here, I'd say 4 out of 7 nights a week I'm over here, well, even more than that if you count it just after 3:30, but I'd say after 7 o'clock at night, probably 4 nights a week I'm over here playing the piano. I never see anything untoward going on, ever. So, I just feel personally, as someone, I'd be happy to monitor it, but I've never had to report anything or seen anything that would be out of place.
And there are ways for us we can install a couple cameras, we could put automatic door locks so that they lock automatically at 11 o'clock and they open at 7. Those things can be done, so.
6.
We'll take it up at the September meeting, we'll put it on the agenda, so as a board, we're allowed to vote on it, and more people would have an opportunity to discuss it, so. Until then, status quo.
Is there a phone in here?
Okay?
Yes, so I know it's broken, somebody broke it. We're having trouble finding another
Yes.
wall. It's impossible to come.
Any other questions or concerns regarding the executive director's report? Now, you don't get agenda item number 12 too. Only kidding, you're more than welcome to.
I'm done.
All right, agenda item number 11, I believe that has been canceled. Is
Yes.
that- Agenda item number 12, resident comments or suggestions. Is there anything else we could discuss at this time?
That money that they gave us for, what are you people going to do with that?
What money?
The
The
CPA
money
money.
that, oh,
75 grand Claire Cronin.
Oh, the Claire Cronin money. Well, actually, when I discussed this with Claire Cronin, part of the issue was the community room up at Lee Circle has never been rehabbed. The kitchen is really not very usable. They need new furniture up there, and the gazebo is sinking. So that's part of it. So, and quite honestly, she released that letter, didn't let me know she released the letter. It hasn't been completely proved to the health yet, I believe, correct?
It's
The
not,
budget's not finalized.
So it's not even finalized, so I don't even know why that was released
It
to
was
the
passed
residents.
the House, it's in
Yeah.
the Senate, then it has to be reconciled, so.
Yeah,
she fought
it's gonna
for
be
it.
a while.
So I do have a question about the Elite Circle kitchen. So they have a kitchen that's actually available to them that they can use all the
It's
time?
just a wide open kitchen. Yeah, there's no doors or anything.
And so
they never used it.
why, I understand there was a problem here with someone stealing out of our kitchen, but that means we still don't have a kitchen that we can use.
Okay, but we have a meal site here, and I believe that was part of the agreement, bless you, with Old Colony Elders. All the stuff that's in there is to provide meals for the residents for $2.50 if you can afford it or not. So there's a meal site here every single day. The cookware, the food that's in the refrigerator, the milks, they were getting stolen out of there. It is used for the residents, and unfortunately, it was happening all the time. That's why the kitchen got locked.
And they left the stove on, which was.
And left the stove on several times, actually. And residents are allowed to use the kitchen during business hours. We open it up on Mondays for bingo, and we close it before we leave at 4 o'clock. So they are allowed to use it when they have the bingo in here on Mondays. So if it's during business hours, that way we can monitor it a little bit. But everything in the kitchen is really Old Colony's to provide meals for the residents. She provides breakfast every morning.
No, I do
Yeah.
understand that, I do understand that, but it is also still true that they have a kitchen that they can use and we don't.
Mhm.
So what are you looking for predominantly, like a hot pot to do a
Well,
tea and
until
maybe a
this
Keurig
past
for
year,
coffee?
when there was some stealing, the kitchen was open, and so if we, people were here, we could make a pot of tea or, whatever, the same way. Again, it's an extension of, your living space, because if a bunch of us want to get together, we can't. We don't have enough room in our apartments to do that.
Part of the problem on that was, I'm here with Barry and the ones, they don't clean up after themselves when they use the kitchen. They leave it a mess.
Well, that might be true. I don't know. I haven't seen that, but I'll concede to
I know.
Valerie if that's the case. But it's just,
Are those kind of the two things that you're looking for, though, is like be able to make a pot of tea or a cup of tea and a cup of coffee? So if you had a Keurig machine and an electric tea kettle that made hot water. I'm just thinking outside the box here.
yeah, no. Well, again, I think for me, it's sort of, it feels like a pattern of overreaction. And what
I
you-
understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think, what types of things are you looking for, that if we couldn't provide you a full working kitchen,
Mhm.
what things you're...
Well, I guess what I'm thinking is that if we were then allowed to come over here and have events, schedule whatever, it's nice to have a sink to be able to use. It's nice to be able to heat things up on a stove. Whether
And
or
that
not
would go
we're-
hand in hand if you're doing an event type
then you
thing,
would
but
get access to the kitchen.
potentially.
Right, potentially.
Not
Okay, that would be,
refrigerated
see, I think
items.
there's a lot of ways to do this creatively, but I think also what you were saying earlier about possibly having cameras so that we know who the people are. If there's a problem with stealing or particular behavior, that would seem like really a good idea rather than, moving from we all have access to no access at all. That's all.
The only thing with cameras, they're not 100% foolproof either.
No, of course not.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
I just actually, under the director's report, and I know I'm not a resident, but I'm going back because it's a resident cookout happening on Saturday.
Yes,
Lovely, and it's a huge, no-cost affair.
correct. Yes, it is. Burgers. Some light other items, waters. We have a band coming.
And that was predominantly put on through Community Healthcare Connection?
And the Housing Authority, yes, in conjunction with us and the band. And,
Nice.
Yeah, so we will be, Dan and I will be here on Saturday. And community health care lady. And
Do you need anything for Saturday?
she's got light burgers. I think she's got potato salad, some coleslaw. I ordered some chips and things, and we have bottles of water. It's nothing elaborate. No giveaways, no prizes. It's not going to be like Christmas, but
I see here Representative Cronin is going to be providing dessert.
yes, she is. Yep.
Yeah, humble pie.
Do you have a sign up, or do you have?
No,
We're supposed to
no,
keep
we
it.
do not.
You think the weather looks good?
Yeah, it does look good. So people can eat outside. We're going to take the tables and chairs from Ellie Circle, bring them down here so we have extra seating outside, and then they can sit in here or outside. We're going to leave the door open, and it should be good.
Nice. Hopefully you guys are all gonna take advantage of that.
Yep.
We're coming.
Good.
I'm speaking for my husband, not you.
All right, any other questions or comments? Any other concerns? Hearing none. Agenda item number 13 is an executive session item. I'd like to set the next meeting date first tentatively for September 10th, which would be the second Tuesday. entertain a motion to enter into executive session, not to return to open session to discuss litigation.
I'll make a motion that we enter into executive session to discuss litigation, not to return to open session.
To do any business.
I will second that motion. And then you have to have a roll call.
Motion by Commissioner Widdop and a second by Commissioner Chrisanne Sheedy. Roll call, Commissioner Tebow,
Yes.
Commissioner Chrisanne Sheedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Dennis Sheedy is yes, Commissioner Widdop,
Yes?
and Commissioner Shaw.
Yeah.
All right. We thank you, folks, and we're gonna be moving into the back office.
Didn't you,